Good day, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be here today to share some thoughts on the things to consider when designing a postdoctoral fellowship. My name is Aminat Alonlano. I'm a postdoctoral research fellow at the Department of Financial Intelligence, University of South Africa. The highlight of this discussion, setting the pace by sharing some foundational steps to take, the search and the search strategies that I've employed, the application processes, and how you can ace the interview, and then share some closing thoughts on the process. So in setting the pace, we need to understand that there is need for a critical assessment of your career path, your career growth and aspiration. You need to understand why you want a postdoctoral fellowship and then what exactly is a postdoctoral fellowship. So from here, I want to say that a postdoctoral fellowship is a temporary research or academic position that is mostly paid. Some are volunteered, and it is designed to offer specialized training in research policy and teaching. So um, in some postdoctoral positions, there is also a component of teaching, while in others it is purely research, and in some others it is about policy discussions and policy advocacy. So in postdoctoral fellowship, you are expected to collaborate with your host to produce highly scientific research research work, and the outcome should be out in quality publication in a form of quality publications in rated journals. So it's a win-win case where this postdoctoral fellowship will give the institution the desired recognition for research and development rating, performance rating, while it sets a path of excellence for the postdoctoral research fellow, and it is also a part, it gives a part of being an expert policy researcher teaching those in academia. So we have different types of postdoctoral fellowship, but the prominent ones here are the academic fellowships, which are domiciled within the institutions in the university environment. You will be there maybe for teaching and research opportunities. We have some that is purely industry postdocs. These industry postdocs are done mostly in the sciences, where the postdoctoral fellows will be situated within the industry to help them in some research to unveil new technologies, new products, designs, new solutions that will be used to advance the world systems. So we also have some in policy oriented, we have them in government coffers and then non-profit postdoctorates. So these are the different types of postdoctorates. So your critical assessment should design or determine the types of postdoctoral fellowship you want. So the career path and growth will let us know, why do you really need a postdoc? A critical assessment of your goals, your strengths, your aspirations, and your mindset. All of this should play important roles in deciding whether you want to pursue a postdoctorate. In terms of the goals, you should be able to assess where you want to be in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, and your strengths. What are your research strengths? What are the skills that you have acquired over time? Does it measure up to getting a postdoctorate, or you need to also acquire some more skills? You need to understand your strengths in terms of teaching, and then the passion to drive research is also very, very important to be able to ace a postdoctoral process, because it is a very, very daunting and taxing issue. It's almost a day, it's almost a full-time job seeking a postdoctoral fellowship. Also, your mindset, your passion is be able to set you apart, because there are turbulent situations in which you come across when applying for postdoctoral fellowship. So your interest, your passion, your goals must be able you must be able to critically assess it to be able to see if you actually fit in into finding a postdoctoral fellowship. Also, your interest is important because it drives your perseverance, because this process is daunting and you have a whole lot of no's before you get some yes. And so others around you may see you as not serious because they do not understand what you are doing, and then until the results comes in. So you must first of all believe in yourself. You must be able to continually strive for excellence and be able to persevere in cases of having too many rejections and handling the rejection. So even more importantly, as a female academics, it is very, very more challenging to you because you have some factors that are against you. You have societal pressures, you have family pressure, the child rearing, tuition norms, policies, even in the university system that are not supporting your growth and career. So you must be very, very determined and never lose focus on your goals. You must be able to identify that this is what you want and you'll be able to pursue it. And I want to say that as much as there are opportunities, as much as there are challenges that are inhibiting women progress in academics, we also have so much more opportunities. And the opportunities are numerous. They are mostly untapped because most women give up along the line. So I want to encourage you women in academics to be able to be determined, never lose focus on lose sight of your goal, and then you must drive your passion with perseverance. So now in building your the pace, the research work, you need to build your research profile. You must be focused on your research interest, but you should be multidisciplinary. For instance, now as a development economics, which have worked on gender, on human capital and all, you should be able to look at some other disciplines that are closely related to what you are doing. You should also try to understand your research focus and then be able to dig deep, have a wide horizon on your research, but narrow it down to what specifically interests you and look at for those issues that particularly aligns with your interests. You should also be able to understand that you need to learn emerging skills in research and how it could be integrated into your focus. More importantly, you need to get published in quality journals. You look at the impact factor of those journals, the H index, the I index. This is very, very key in getting a postdoctoral research fellowship. So also you should getting published in quality journals, you should be able to engage in healthy collaborations. So in building, another step that needs to be taken is to build your strong network. This network is also very, very key in the kind of publications you do. It's essential that you attend conferences, make new connections, and then discuss professionally. It is very, very important, and I cannot stress this enough for you to discuss professionally when you make new connections. So you make vertical connections. That's those that are established professionals in your field and those that are far ahead of you. So for you to lean on their experiences and lean on their back to be able to achieve greater height. And at the same time, while you are making vertical connections, you also make horizontal connections. Those are your peers that you are in the same level. Those it will be easy for you to have a collaborative research with people of your peers. You'll be able to relate professionally and then have a win-win situation by attending those conferences. You attend seminars and workshops, you go for trainings. They are very, very important while building strong networks. Also, you need to be very visible in the social space. Create digital prints. You have LinkedIn pages, research Gates, Google Scholar, and other professional sites. This will help you understand what is going on in the world of research as it relates to your interests, and also other academic networks like the DADEC and the ASME Premium. ASME is the African Scholars Mentorship Program that is being headed by Professor Evans Oshaboy. It is a very, very invaluable platform that I've joined in recent times. In the last 1 year, I have been able to attest to the fact that I get credible information, inclusive insight, and the team members are very, very supportive. I've been able from here to have contact with those in Ghana, in UK, and all to be able to initiate research collaborations with them. So, in terms of research and research strategies that I've used in finding opportunities, in some institutions, I joined their mailing list of preferred countries. I identify countries of my choice. So, you need to identify countries of your choice and then join the mailing list of these institutions. You visit their departments, you look at the professors in these areas, and you could mail some of these professors. So in doing this, you can could mail them through LinkedIn or through their email. But before you could mail them, you need to understand their research areas and see how it perfectly aligns with your research areas. So also in finding opportunities, you can get academic mentors, advisors, and but please, you must be in a cordial relationship with them. Academic mentors are not necessarily your teachers, they can be people that are even outside your discipline. But once you have them, you be in cordial relationship with them, you reach out to them once in a while to say so by the time you need their help in any of this for getting information or for making them recommendations, you'll be able to they will be easily it will be easy for them to render the assistance. Then also you can also connect with old friends in academics, even if they're not in your discipline. So these people that I've listed, they will be very, very useful to you. They will be highly valuable at different points and at in different times in your life, this academic journey. One of the examples that I want to share about code mailing professors in my area is one of professors that I met on LinkedIn in the UK. So the professor, once I sent him a message, he accepted. Then the next thing that I did was to blow my trumpet. I told him that I'm a recent graduate in economics, and especially in the development issues from the behavior and what have you. I also told him what I've done in the industry and the years and the number of publications that I've done. And I told him, pointing out these experience skills, and because I'm prepared for work and I'm open to academic engagements, international collaborations. But because I've showed them my Google Scholar, it is just for them to look out for. You prompt them to make a research about you. So once he did that, he said, "Thank you, Amina. It's a pleasure to connect with you via LinkedIn. And this, your academic background is impressive and your research are interesting. I'll be able to discuss further with you regarding potential opportunities in the UK and possible collaborations with me in terms of research." And immediately he gave me his mail address. And from there, we had a Zoom meeting, and now is on my WhatsApp list. And this is a professor that has helped me in many times in reviewing my cover letter, in reviewing my research interest. He gave me samples that which I can adapt, and also he give opportunities of postdoctoral fellowship, which because at the moment he's not taking any PDF, but he has given me opportunities. I've been able to lean on his network to be able to connect with some other people that will be in need of postdoctoral fellows. So that is one way of searching for postdoctoral opportunities. Another key thing that is important to do is finding hosts. So hosts can be found everywhere. It can be found anywhere, and we can also find them nowhere if we do not do anything. So by attending conferences, you meet potential hosts. The most fruitful adventure is for your mentors, advisors, friends, or colleagues to refer you to a host. That is a soft landing already, because they also assume that they have an idea of your competence before they would refer you to them. So it is better for you to be in good relationship with people so that they would be able to serve as referrals to you. And also you can get hosts through your collaborators, maybe co-authors that you have across the world or across the globe, and the fellow researchers, you talk to them that you are in need of a postdoctoral fellowship, and if they could get opportunities in their institutions, that would also give you a leverage on finding your post. Then, like I said earlier, you could mail professors in your field. It's very important to understand that that is also a very fruitful way of finding hosts. And then lastly is on volunteering. So one of the example of research institutions that you can volunteer is the ASME Premium and Diadec. And we have had people that have volunteered in these spaces because research is always evolving in that space. I can tell you that the quantum of information that I've received or have had with the forum, I myself, I cannot chew them enough. So the information is there. So in crafting, once you have gotten opportunities for postdoctoral applications, then the next thing is to craft a winning application. The very first thing is to have a master CV. A master CV is a documentary of all that you have done in the field of academics in terms of teaching, training, research, policy advocacy, and your publications. So, but then you would not be throwing all that you have achieved to everybody. What you need to do is to make sure that your CV is unique for each application. You design a unique CV for each application. You must tailor it to the requirements for applying for the fellowship. So you should, in that CV, you should be able to showcase relevant accomplishments. So this will make the funders be willing to read and be impressed about your CV. So your cover letters must also not be generic. It must be unique. You must be able to sell yourself in a very narrative, compelling, and unique manner. You must be able to tell your stories as it relates to you. You must not just find a generic cover letter on the internet and then maybe do some adjustments and send to them. You must tailor it to the interest of the postdoctoral position itself. And the same way with your research statement. You must be able to highlight what you have done in alignment to your future research. And your future research in this instance is your postdoctoral research plan. This is an outline of what you intend to do with the postdoctoral time they have allocated to you. So, in crafting a winning application, you should also consider that you need to carefully design or develop your research proposal. You must be intentional about every section of it, and every section of the proposal must be well detailed. You must be able to make it an interesting read by ensuring that it is grammatically sound, and each paragraph must be able to transit to each other. You must be able to understand that there are transiting words that are used, unique transiting words that are needed in at every paragraph, and every paragraph will start with a topic statement. Your research and proposal must be crafted in such a way that you use and master the use of research languages, and then your research problem, your research issue must be clearly articulated. So finally, you need to subject the work to plagiarism to be able to see if you have not plagiarized anyone, and also see that you have not even plagiarized yourself. So sourcing recommenders is also an important part in writing a winning application. How do you source your recommenders? Who do you choose and why do you choose them? And how well are they willing to assist you? In who you choose, you should be able to identify proactive contacts and then spread your options. It is not that those that you have contacted are not willing to help, but most times they are usually too busy. Researchers are usually too busy to, the professors are usually too busy to respond within the limited time frame. So what you need to do is you need to spread your options. If you are in need of three recommenders, you contact six people that you see that are worthwhile in your contacts. So you need to spread your contacts, at least if you are in need of the recommenders. If you have contacted 6 people before that time frame, I'm sure that you will be able to get the 3 recommendations in record time. But before these people can be able to vouch for you, they should be able to build trust, exhibit loyalty, and let them be able to vouch for you beyond academics. So I also want you to understand that you need to tailor each recommendation to how these people relate with you. So what I do most times is, because of the ambitious schedule, I prepare a brag sheet containing all that I've known. Apart from the busy schedule, they may not know everything about you in terms of your academics rigor or excellence or your accomplishments. So you do a draft letter showing them all that you have achieved professionally, but the part of building trust, loyalty, confidence, it is left to them to express how they feel about you. So while you building a brag sheet and giving it to them, it will make the process easier. It is just for them to be able to review and revert, and then an improved version of what you have received from your recommenders. If they are send if a copy, even if they are sending directly to the school or to your host, you can humbly request for what they have sent to you so that you'll be able to improve on it going forward. So one of the things that I did and that is so instructive to my heart is that Professor Evans has done so many recommendations for me that is countless. He's been able to review my proposals. He has reviewed my cover letter. But then I do it in a very logical and humble manner. I send it to him and to review and amend. And then once he has done that, any of them that has done anything for you, you go back to say a big thank you to them for their support. Your contacts, your friends, your mentors, you must leave a positive print in their hearts. That's about doing your own work very well. So after you have submitted and then you got an interview invite, this is a step closer to winning. And then at this stage, you need to just impress them in your presentation. Adequate preparation is equally required at this level. You would be given, depending, some time to present a slide. And if you have a slide presentation, you should be able to develop an instructive slide that talks about your background, your education experience, proficiency in research methodology, and the use of analytical tools. And then you should be able to talk about your proven research records, at least 2 or 3 publications that are related to the fellowship. And then what are your fellowship plans? What are your goals, career advancement, and your contribution to the institution itself? Like I said earlier, it should be a win-win case. They should see value in engaging you to come over. So your research plans for the period of this fellowship must be well stated with definite timelines. And the concluding remark, you should reiterate your desire to join the lab or the team and how this will advance institutional goals and your career paths. These are things that you need to put in your presentation slide. And in the Q&A, you also need to understand that you need to research extensively on the school institution, on the department, and on your hosts, the research that they have done. And even particularly in your research, they will want to gauge your own state of knowledge on their research and also be able to track how vast you are in delivering at in assigned tasks. So all of this is what they will ask you. And also in terms of research methodology, you need to, once you have told them you are proficient in research methodology, at least one of the research methodology, whether qualitative, quantitative, or mixed method, you should be able to understand the rudimentaries of this methodology. So once you understand the instrumentary, even the use of statistical tools, they know that it is evolving and you can learn over time. But it is very important to be able to understand research methodology because it is the hallmark of every research that you're going to be writing. So as a concluding thought, I want to say that the application guidelines should be read carefully. should pay attention to word limit. If your proposal says 2,000, you should make it 100 and 1,900 and something. It must not be up to 2,000 or 2,000 marks. It should not be 2001 or 2050. That is a total automatic disqualification. The submission instructions, if you're asked to submit as one PDF, you should be able to submit as one PDF. If you're asked to submit individually, you should. If you are talking about fonts, font size, and font style, referencing, you need to pay attention to all of those things. And then, secondly, you pay attention to deadlines. If it is 20, you at least you give 24 or 48 hours to deadline to avoid technical glitches. And lastly, finally, you should not underestimate the place of prayer. It is important to commit everything and every process of one's life into prayer, irrespective of our religion, value, or tribe. So I thank you for listening to this section, and do have a wonderful day ahead. Bye.